Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher along with Jerry Burrow. Jerry, we took 2 weeks off.
Yeah, Memorial Day, and we decided to take an extra week off and let things, it was pretty slow, just the Stanley Cup. And so now we got a little more news, some coaches that have decided to resign, and what's going on with these high school coaches. And we got the captains named at UMD, and some young players coming in now because of players that got signed and left early. And so there's a little news now.
Well, let's talk about the coaching changes for next year. We learned that Trent Klatt up in Grand Rapids has chosen to resign, this time for real. Last year, as you recall, he resigned, and then, 2 weeks later, if that, he said, you know what, on second thought, I'm coming back. But no, this time around, I think that he realizes that, he got a state championship for that school. And
plus, he got them to the state twice.
And, he wants to go back to school and finish his degree.
Okay.
Can't blame a guy for doing that, can you?
Yeah.
But what that does is that leaves a void of some pretty big skates to fill in the Northland. We'll include Grand Rapids in the Northland. Trent Klatt at Grand Rapids, Bruce Plant up at Hermantown. We know that there's been a replacement there, and Dave Essie in Cloquet.
Right. See, Essie and Klatt, boy, that's two big names in AA up here. And Essie's been around for almost 20 years at Cloquet and longer as an assistant. So hey, they put a lot of time in.
Well, let's start with Hermantown. Hermantown has named a replacement to Coach Plant.
Right, Pat Andrews. He was their Bantam AA coach.
And that was
last year he helped with high school, so you kind of thought they're kind of leading him.
You felt that he was.
They're going to lead him in there, and give him a little experience at the high school level.
Good choice.
I guess what I'm hearing is a good guy. He's a teacher up there, I guess a 7th grade teacher, and he's been around the game. And he played for Hermantown, so he got a local boy, played the game there, and so, hey, can't go wrong.
Okay, and then up in Cloquet, Dave Essie leaves. There was some conflict with him and assistant Jamie Langenbrenner.
There's going to be a lot of talk on that one. Yeah, there's going to be sides.
Okay. Any idea, any front runners up in Cloquet?
Well, some of the names that I'm hearing is Dave Meisner. He helped with the Wilderness. Someone told me he's pretty good friends with Jamie Langenbrenner. And if that happened, then I think Langenbrenner will be back as an assistant. I don't think Jamie Langenbrenner would be head coach because of his duties with the Boston Bruins.
And that is?
He's a player development.
Okay.
So he goes all over to their, the American Hockey League team and that, and see how the players are doing. And
it's funny how players, after they retire, they take on roles like that with different teams. You would think that maybe there would be, I don't know, it's just odd that he would do that for any team other than St. Louis or Dallas. But
right.
Then again, I guess it's an opportunity.
Wants to stay busy.
Yeah,
He's been away all his life, so he doesn't go, like you say, going home sometimes is hard on the marriage.
So Dave Essie up in Cloquet, we're waiting for a replacement there?
Here's a kind of shocker. I heard rumors that Kevin Smalley is applying for the job. Or
really?
Has.
Head coach at Duluth Denfeld?
Right.
He
lives out that way.
In Cloquet.
He lives out that way. So
well, it would give him an opportunity to play for a program that certainly has got a lot of promise. Right. Cloquet's been a great Class AA team now for many, many years. And boy, wouldn't that be something if Kevin Smalley got that position, and then you had the clash of the Titans, Cloquet and Hermantown, and Randolph and Smalley as head coaches. Wow.
You like that, don't you?
Well, that's interesting, Jerry. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, but then the job's going to be open, I heard, for a long time, like up into July. The opening, for the head coach. So we'll see. We'll get more names as And by the time our seasons, we'll know by the time we open up our show in the fall again.
Any speculation, any thoughts in Grand Rapids who might succeed?
Well, there can be a ton.
Platt, yeah.
I mean, every couple of years seems like this has been going on lately.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, there's so many hockey players and hockey people in that area that, hey, it wouldn't surprise me if the Greenway coach goes back to Rapids.
Okay, that's a name I was going to throw out there.
Because he played at Rapids.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. You know, it's funny.
Clapton.
It's funny that we, you know, we have both high school champions from this area. Hermantown won Class A, Grand Rapids won Class AA, and that's pretty special, Jer.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen too often, and it may not happen again in our lifetime. Who knows?
Right. And I tell you.
Pretty special.
But, hey, a lot of changes, and we'll see what that does to these programs. And, you know, sometimes when you have a coach that's been there so long, it's kind of funny when a new coach comes in and changes how they did things for a long time, what that does to a program. We'll see.
Now, did we have in the past where East won and Marshall won, or rather East and Hermantown a few years back?
One?
They both won Class A, Class AA. Did East win the same year Hermantown did?
No, because East last time they won was 98. And 95 was the Spihar year before that. But they've been the second place many times.
Yeah, okay.
So,
okay.
And there's been times where they've both been second place. So, hey, I was talking to Mike Randolph. His kid has an agent now, and he's going to be playing that, what do they call that league, down in the cities with all the pro players and top college stars that live in the Twin Cities come back, is DeBonte League. They play at Edina, so it's every Wednesday, and then after the first month, then they play Monday and Wednesdays.
So that's Jake.
Jake Randolph, yeah, so.
He'll be a senior next year?
Yep.
At Omaha?
He'll be a senior.
All right.
So hopefully he has a good year, and he'll be a free agent where some team will pick him up.
What's Avery Peterson's status for next season?
He'll be playing for for UMD.
Okay.
And thing about him, the Wild have his rights, so they got another year to hold his rights, and most likely he'll sign with the Wild, and then see how he goes from there. But downtown in Ottawa, he still hasn't signed, but his agent now told him, don't worry about it and take it easy. And after the expansion draft, which is the new team in Vegas, that's going to be like June 18th through the 20th, I think, the expansion draft. And that'll be, I think it's held out in Vegas too. And then the regular draft, the entry draft, will be on, 20 through the 23rd. No, 2 days, 22nd and 23rd. That'll be in Chicago. So that's where all the 18-year-olds get drafted. And so we got a Minnesota kid that'll probably be picked in the top 5.
Okay, but Dom is waiting to sign with Toronto.
But they're not going to sign him, it looks like, right now.
Which means he'll become a free agent, or?
Yes.
Okay.
He can become a free agent then.
Yeah.
And then any team can have him.
We've talked about this today on KDAL about Jake Gensel. And
right.
Why, he's doing so well in the Stanley Cup playoffs. What, 13 goals?
Right. He's the top he's top
in all playoff games.
Yep.
Where is, and granted he's a Minnesota kid, so we, tend to, question why the Minnesota Wild didn't pick up Jake Gensel.
Yeah, they looked at, a lot of teams, they like size.
Yeah.
If you don't have size, they don't care how good you are.
Well, I think Minnesota having size.
Yeah, but
look at these guys: Zucker, Haula,
right.
Granlund.
But my thing is, not only does Gensel always had skill, is that the reason he's doing so good, he's smart on the ice. Mm-hmm. And have you seen him where all his goals are? Small guy, he's around the net.
Yeah.
And that's for a big guy, but he's smart.
Well, maybe he wouldn't survive in the game 25 years ago, 20 years ago even.
Right. I think he would.
Well, yeah, but
he would,
that wasn't the style of the game back then to have a small guy up front.
Right.
Unless,
right.
There were some exceptions.
It'd be a different style of game for sure.
I almost wish we could go back to that old style of the NHL, more open ice,
right.
a freer flow. I don't like this tight game. I really don't. It's just not to my liking.
And, a lot of people don't give enough credit to Matt Cullen. That's another Minnesota kid. And I think he's playing as good as anyone with 20 years experience in the National Hockey League. I mean, the guy plays two-way. He penalty kills. He'll throw out a beautiful assist sometimes. The guy, I think he's great.
Well, there's no question that Matt Cullen, if his career ended today, would be considered. He's got to be considered for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, geez. He put his time in.
He's got his time. He's got his longevity. He's got his consistency.
One of the better two-way players.
Absolutely. And who wouldn't want a centerman like Matt Cullen on their team?
One of the best role players that's been in hockey, in the National Hockey League.
He's got
for
the
that many
rings.
years.
Carolina,
yeah,
Pittsburgh last year.
Yeah.
Did he do something in between there?
I think those are the two.
Okay. And he's on the verge of Pittsburgh winning another Stanley Cup against Nashville
Right.
here. And let's talk about this Stanley Cup, Nashville and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the series. They went to Nashville, and Nashville won that game handedly 5-1 to pull within 2-1 in the series. But my goodness, did we learn how rabid the Nashville fans are in the NHL?
I think when you start winning, it really helps to bring the fans out.
But the fans were in the stands.
Right.
They had the camera shots of them outside on the streets. And
but don't you think the Minnesota Wild, if they were in the finals, you don't think that downtown would be packed?
Oh, sure.
So
yeah, but that's Minnesota.
But
we
it's good for
that.
it's good for Nashville because they were not known for any sports, really.
Exactly.
You're never going to name Nashville as a sports city.
No, it's a music city.
Music.
Of course, and rightfully so.
Bring your guitar.
Yes, yes. I would like to see Nashville win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Something different, eh? It'd be great for hockey.
I think it would be. There's no question about it. And I'm not a Pittsburgh fan, obviously, but...
and why is that? Because they won so many times?
1991, Jared.
Oh, you're going back to that. That's right. I remember
Stanley Cup. North Stars up 2-1 in the series. And then Mario Lemieux got healthy and made John Casey look terrible. And,
so you hate Pittsburgh because of that?
And they beat us on our home ice at Met Center and hoisted the cup. And they, what was it? 8-0, 7-0 loss.
That hurt.
It did. It's horrible.
I watched that out in Boulder, Colorado.
I'm not a fan of Sidney Crosby. Never have been.
Really?
No, never have been. I don't think.
Why is that?
I just don't like his chippy, dirty play. He's got a very calm demeanor when he talks off the ice. He's an ambassador for the game. I know he played at Shattuck. He's been a great, ambassador for the game in Canada. And then he gets on the ice and he plays this chippy game. Come on. He tried to pick fights with Chara. Chara would pummel this guy.
Sid's not a fighter.
He's not, but he thinks he is. I just, you just don't like players for what particular reasons. I'm not a Sidney Crosby fan.
Maybe he's doing that because he thinks that refs won't give a penalty because he's a star.
There's something about Sidney that is different than...
Sid, you got to stop it, man. And we don't want to get Kenny upset here.
Well, yeah, but, there's something different about him and Wayne Gretzky and, elite players, Yzerman, even Brett Hull. I don't know. There was just there was a humble attitude maybe about those other guys. And Sid just rubs me the wrong way. What can I say?
Okay.
Sorry if I offended you.
Okay. So UMD's decided to bring Ryan Sandberg in.
Yeah,
true freshman.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If I asked Coach Scott what's his major concerns coming up this year, I bet he'll tell you the youth and the back end.
Well, I mean, when you lose Pionk and you lose the key seniors that they've lost.
And their goaltender, Miska.
Yeah, it's, but we thought that about this going into this season. So we'll wait and see. But I don't know. I don't know if this youth can maybe help them more than hinder them. They're going to be a fast team. They're going to be a team to reckon with.
I think the forwards are going to have to come back a lot to help out these young defensemen because they're going to make a lot of mistakes. And, hey, that's how you learn the game, too.
Hey, we've been saying it for the past 3 years. Why not continue the trend? Goaltending's going to be an issue.
You think so?
Well, even though it hasn't turned out the last few years. But, we were spoiled with Kaskasuo and Hunter Miska. Maybe Hunter Shepard will spoil us as well.
One stayed 2 years and one stayed 1 year.
Yeah. What's the latest on Miska?
Miska, who did he sign with? Arizona? Yeah.
Okay.
Arizona. We'll see. He'll be playing probably in their American Hockey League club this coming season. But, we got 4 true freshmen that are coming in for the defense. So that'll be
4.
Yeah. A couple of them left early for juniors, but they're still true freshmen. And then we got 2 coming right out of high school. Matt Anderson from Holy Family and Ryan Sandberg. So
Matt Anderson, Joey's brother.
Right.
And
no, Mikey Anderson is Joey's brother. Matt played at Holy Family. So we got 2 Andersons coming in.
And just Mike is related, not
right.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
And Mikey's a pretty big guy, 6'3".
Oh, nice.
So got some size on him. So I think he'll be the true player coming in. He's played a lot of USHL hockey.
What about Sandberg?
I think he's going to take a while.
Really?
I think, yeah.
All right.
He's got the size, but I think it's going to take him a while. It's a big jump to come nowadays. In a lot of these, you go back east, you see these teams like Union, Providence, Yale, and their average age of their players are 23, 24 years old. Now we're getting 18-year-olds playing.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference.
Yeah, true.
Their strength and everything. So we'll see. I mean, it'll be different. It'll take a little time, I think, the first half.
Any statistics on Denver versus UMD? Was Denver an older team than UMD, or?
They had a little of both. Denver did, and they had some young kids too. And hey, so far it seems like a lot of them are staying. So Denver might be the team to beat again.
Refresh our memories, Jared. Did Denver, were they number 1 pretty much from the start, or did UMD?
UMD had number 1
right.
more times than Denver.
Okay.
Then Denver, toward the last third of the season, started.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Started getting in a lot more.
All right.
So, and UMD named their captains. We got a couple local boys. The main captain is Carson Kuhlman.
Yeah.
From Cloquet. And then we got assistant captains, Adam Johnson from Hibbing, and then we got the Canadian, Parker Mackay. So, hey, we're all set with the captains, our leaders for next year. So that's how many years in all we have captains from the Northland. We had Adam Krause, we had Dom Toninato, we've had, who was before Adam?
Jack was in there.
There's been a lot of...
who's the defenseman that left to go to Anaheim?
Walensky. Andy Walensky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Northlands captains there.
Yeah.
You go back 20 years ago and you never saw that.
Was Pokey Traxel a captain?
No.
No?
No. I forget who was captain back then.
Huffer?
I think Walt Lenham.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Walt was. Yeah. I had a chance to meet and talk to Jimmy Johnson over the weekend in this ALS fishing tournament.
Oh, you went to the tournament?
Well, I was up at UMD for the after party and stuff. I talked to Jimmy Johnson, talked to Kent Herbeck, and Darby Hendrickson.
Really?
And I asked Jimmy, I said, okay, I know you played for Pittsburgh. I said, where were the other teams? And he just rattled them right off. Washington, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and what were the teams?
He had about 5 or 6.
Yeah, Arizona, Phoenix, and it's like, my goodness. But I just remember JJ being a tough defenseman.
Yeah, and he's not that big.
He's not. But he was a tough guy. He was a tough defenseman at UMD and even in the NHL. He played
His son played a little bit that style.
Derek?
Tough. Yeah.
He was there. I saw him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then did Darby have anything to say?
Nothing too much. It was pretty much a casual atmosphere, and just acknowledged that they had a good season. It just fell short. But Darby, he keeps himself in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He always has. Yeah, I see him at all the Wild games. He's basically up there with his phone. I mean, he has earplugs talking to the bench during the game.
He's got a summer home in Duluth still.
Has he?
Island Lake.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes fishing and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just looking, I mean, we don't know until the fall which players leave early for high school, but right now, let's say if everyone stayed, some of the teams I really like starting next year in AA, St. Thomas Academy is going to be loaded, and Moorhead will come back, and they were playing in the championship game against Grand Rapids this last year, and Edina, Holy Family Catholic, Tonka, which lost that coach, Brian Urich, he resigned too. So they got Sean Goldsworthy, Billy Goldsworthy, son.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then Duluth East should be real good if they keep all their players.
What's Sean Goldworthy's hockey background?
He coached over at St. Olaf for a long time.
He must have had a playing career somewhere. Was he a varsity high school player? Or?
Yeah. You know what? I don't know where he played. I think he played like a Division III college.
Okay.
So
Is he born in Minnesota?
Well, that's a tough one too.
Okay.
He probably was since Billy played here for many years.
What's his favorite food?
Pizza or spaghetti or chicken.
And his favorite late night
That's an
television
80%
show?
chance of getting it.
And his favorite
movie?
Wow. Well, again, the Stanley Cup playoffs down to the final few games here. Pittsburgh, as of this taping, has a 2-1 lead. Nashville took care of Pittsburgh in Game 3, 5-1. And now we've got Game 4. That'll be played, tonight. Monday. We're taping June 4th.
Right.
Then 5th. Where are we?
And then we got, 5th.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night will be Game 5. That's on for sure. And then if it goes farther, then we got next Sunday at, that'll be at Nashville if it gets to the 6th game. And that'll be Sunday night. All these games are 7 o'clock Central Time on NBC. So every game now will be on your local TV.
So if it goes to 7 games, Game 7 is scheduled for Wednesday the 14th.
Correct.
All right.
So that's the hockey action. Then after the 14th, then the draft.
Yeah.
And then the break. And then hockey
Free
starts over again.
agency is July 1st.
Right.
Yeah.
But the new team, Las Vegas, the Golden Knights.
Yes.
The Golden Knights. They can pick up some free agents beforehand.
When is their
The 18th through the 20th.
their draft?
The expansion draft.
So we'll find out.
Yeah, that's a big thing, really. Who do you think might be left off on the forward list?
For the Wild?
Yeah, because they can only keep 7, and 3 of them for sure have to stay. I mean, Parisi, Koivu, and Pominville have no trade. So they got to be on that 3. So we got 4 left. We got Granlund, Coyle, Niederreiter. We got Zucker. We got Stahl. So that's going to be tough.
Well, you know what? And I've often thought Zucker almost seemed like a natural one to me. He's from Las Vegas.
Right.
And could this team survive losing Jason Zucker? Yeah.
Right.
So
Got a lot of speed, though.
Well, sure he does, but why not? I think he'd be a good fit. I'm sure he's somebody that...
Probably the National Hockey League would want that.
Well, I
bet
think
the Vegas would pick him up right away.
Absolutely. I mean, why not get a hometown kid? And,
If he was on that list, I guarantee you Vegas will pick him up.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. I mean, how many players are from Las Vegas?
But then again, there's going to be players like Dumba probably and Brodin.
Well, Brodin's a name I've heard that is potentially going to Vegas. So,
but they can only take one.
I understand, but we'll wait and see. If I had to guess, if I had to pick one, I'd say Zucker.
Okay.
Just seems like the natural fit in Vegas, and again, the Wild, they can survive without Jason Zucker. I like him. I think he's somebody that the Wild should try to keep, but we'll wait and see. We were talking about whether or not we'll tape again after this show, but I think we should. I think we should look forward to coming back after at least that draft. We can talk about the Stanley Cup finish and the draft in Las Vegas.
Let's do that. Let's have our last show. Let's take a couple-week break now, and then after the draft, we'll come back right by the end of June.
Works for me.
So, on Monday, so that'll be about Monday the 5th, 12th, 19th, 26th. We'll tape on the 26th, so you'll see it on the 28th, the show.
All right.
That sounds good. Then we got another thing is the Frozen Four is going to be in St. Paul this next year.
Awesome.
Yep, next spring in April. So back home. And we always do good. A home team from the state wins the national title when we play in St. Paul a lot of times.
Well, of course, UMD did it in 2011.
Yep.
And did the Gophers win on home ice?
2002 when it's in St. Paul.
Okay.
Yep. And then they've had close chances on like 89. Scarta hitting the pipe.
Okay. All right.
So, and we got Duluth East has their schedule, so all the high schools will have their schedules out. And nice thing about it for local fans.
Whoa. The East High School schedule is out now?
Yes.
Huh?
I got the schedule. And nice thing about it, we're going to be home a lot.
Well, are you kidding me? It's already out?
There you go.
So the boys varsity, is this that's practice. Is this a game? So is this the first game?
Right. At White Bear.
Friday, December 1st.
Then they come back and play with Zeta, but at home.
Saturday, December 2nd.
Yep.
Bemidji, Andover, Cloquet, Centennial, Marshall, Duluth Marshall, Lakeville North, Superior, Anoka, Elk. Oh, geez. Blaine,
Stillwater,
Minnetonka, Denfeld, Grand Rapids, Eden Prairie. Yeah. Okay. So wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're gonna. Yeah, we'll have a lot of.
What about the other schedules? Marshall,
They haven't
Denfeld?
come out yet, but probably by then they will.
Is
be
this
out.
unusual for it to come out this early?
Because they usually get most of their schedule. Because they sign 2-year contracts a lot of times for these teams and that. So they got to plan ahead, and plus the rinks got to set up their times way ahead. You just can't do it the last minute. So this is pretty common.
Okay. Well, we're down to the final minute of our program here. So glad you could tune in. And we'll be back here in a couple of weeks to do a final wrap on the season after a free agency, or rather the expansion draft and the Stanley Cup. And want to thank the folks at PACT-TV, where this program is produced. And go to our Facebook page, Minnesota Hockey Connection, and like us there. Got a lot of activity going on there, a lot of unique stuff. And we've got our primary website, MinnesotaHockeyConnection.com. So, Jerry, final thought?
Yeah. Well, for you, go Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
For me, go Matt Cullen. Go Jake Gensel. Doesn't mean Pittsburgh wins.
No, I can live with it. I can live with go Matt Cullen and Jake Gensel.
All right.
We'll be back here in a couple of weeks to wrap up the hockey season, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.